Hello, my name is Colin Darby. I'm a student here at Slippery Rock University, and I'm a dual major in physical activity and fitness management and psychology. I've created this video to show all interested in beginning level powerlifters or athletes how to hang clean. Essentially, a hang clean is done with a barbell, which is the long metal bar that I'm holding with both hands and basically lifting up to my shoulders, and weights on each side. Hang cleans are held from a hanging position and consist of moving the weight from this hanging position to what's called the clavicular shelf, which is just under the neck and across the shoulders, where I'm locking the weight at the upward position. Hang cleans are beneficial because they develop strength and power with the triple extension of the gastrocnemius or calf muscles, the hamstring muscle group, and the gluteus maximus, which is your buttocks. Let us now move on to how to perform this incredible lift. Performing the hang clean is a very technical process and can be extremely dangerous for ignorant or untrained individuals. I know personally I've hurt myself in the process of hang cleaning, and I've been powerlifting for training purposes and recreationally for 4 years. First, let's start with exploring the weight we will be using. Standard barbells typically have 2 rings from the center, called knurlings. A normal grip for hang cleans would be grasping the barbell overhand, about shoulder width apart on the outsides of these knurlings. Some athletes like to hook or use hook grips by hooking their thumbs under the fists, while others enjoy just having a closed hand with the thumb underneath. The appropriate weight to use when learning the motions of a hang clean would either be just the barbell itself or a piece of PVC pipe or plastic. It is also important to note that the use of warming up with these items prior to a hang clean or lift are essential in preparing your muscles for the powerful movements that follow. I would also like to point out a lot of the lifters in my videos utilize straps, which allow them to have better grip of the weight through the entire motion. Straps are a safe way to lift heavier weights and can be dropped at any point in time in a safe and feasible manner. As seen in the video, I am holding the weight on my clavicular shelf and then dropping it, and the straps unwind immediately. They are easy to use by sliding the hands through a loop, tightening the grip, and then wrapping the strap portion around the barbell that's comfortable with your grip, as seen in this video. So now we know where to grip the bar, but where do we place the weight itself in order to have it in the hang position of the hang clean? It's important to note that a lifter must remember to sit into an action stance, as I like to call it, slightly bending the knees in a position to where he or she is ready to pursue any action given to them in an instant. Once in this stance with the weight in hand, we must then focus on squeezing the scapulae, or shoulder blades, together, as seen in the video. This protects the lifter from back injury by preparing the back muscles to activate rather than jerking them, which can lead to strain. Placing the weight around the lower thigh and just above the knee is the prime location for the weight to sit during a hang clean. Now that we have our hang all set, we can now move on to the cleaning portion, which is driving the weight in a straight line toward the clavicular shelf using the legs. Once we have the weight in that prime hang position, the athlete will extend through their calf muscles, hamstrings, and glute muscles simultaneously, as just shown in the video. The lifter will not use their arms to pull on the weight unless the technique is advanced. They have some experience doing so. This motion through the legs should be very fast and explosive, directed straight up in the air. A cue for this motion would be similar to jumping upward as high as you can. Once the weight is traveling upward, we now have to catch the weight on the shelf. Catching the weight for the first time on this shelf will be very awkward at first, and I highly recommend practicing holding just the bar itself on the shelf, across the shoulders, over top of your clavicles, which is your collarbones, and under the neck, with correct form prior to performing the complete hang clean. In order to catch the weight safely, we focus on snapping under the weight while maneuvering our arms and wrists around the bar. Snapping or sitting under the weight really comes into play when athletes mess around with heavier weights or begin to fatigue during a workout. This is essentially triple extending completely through those 3 muscle groups, and then quickly sitting underneath of the weight so that when it is caught on that clavicular shelf, the athlete can then front squat the weight upward and complete the repetition. As for arm and wrist maneuvering, we want to start with our arms extended for the hang and end with our arms gripping the bar with our elbows pointed upward and straight ahead with the weight resting on our shoulders and upper chest. This position requires some flexibility, but moving up in weight will force your hands into the correct position. This position also allows athletes to drop the weight back down to a hang position for another repetition. This is where straps play a huge role with lack of grip strength or heavier weight. In conclusion, when we put all of these aspects together, we wind up with a finished product and a successful and powerful hang clean. Remember to know your limits, and the way that the weight is moved is more important than how much weight you move. Also remember to utilize safety equipment such as lifting belts, straps, and clips to keep the weight in place. All weights should be clipped with safety clips and checked prior to every lift for efficiency. Finally, thank you all for watching, and I wish you all have a happy powerlifting session with the new technique of a hang clean.